Hello class, this is AJ Moody and today I'm doing my week 8 persuasive video. First off, I would like to thank my fellow Grantham University Public Speaking 101 classmates and a special thank you to Ms. Albright, our instructor. So today we'll be talking about the legalization of marijuana. Alright. My stance on it, simply put, is I am for at least, the very least, for medicinal marijuana. Why, you ask? It's simple. For one, humans have pretty much cultivated and consumed the cannabis plant, better known as marijuana, since virtually the beginning of recorded history. Okay, cannabis-based textiles dating back to 7000 BC have been recovered in northern China, and plants' use of medicinal and mood-altering agents date back nearly as far as that. Okay, so what are we talking about? Let's talk about the rules and the laws that involve marijuana. Okay, so if we go back to 1937, Congress, under the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, and later reaffirmed by the federal lawmakers' decision to classify marijuana, as well as all the plant's organic compounds known as cannabinoids, as a Schedule I substance under the Controlled Substance Act of 1970. Other drugs under the same classification include heroin, LSD, ecstasy, and bath salts, to name a few. So let's dive into what classifies a drug as Schedule I. A, the drug or other substance has to have a high potential for abuse. All right. The drug or other substance has no currently accepted medical treatment use in the United States, and there is a lack of accepted safety for use of the drug or substance under medical supervision, and no prescription may be written for Schedule I substances, and they are not readily available for clinical use. All right. So there exists little or any scientific basis to justify the federal government their present stance, but there's ample scientific and empirical evidence to rebut it. All right. So the government's nearly century-long prohibition of the plant, cannabis is still nonetheless one of the most investigated therapeutically active substances in history. To date, there are over 20,000 published studies and reviews in the scientific literature referencing cannabis plant and cannabinoids. Okay? So why is marijuana so controversial, at least on a legal level? Why isn't there more support for marijuana-based clinical studies? Well, we have to go back in history. Okay? The research that I did didn't really say verbatim this is what happened, but it's all theory. Okay, so one of the theories is, let's think about this. So in the early 1900s, after the Mexican Revolution, right, Mexican immigrants started to pour into the US borders, bringing with them marijuana, but for them it was for recreational purposes. Okay, so then marijuana became associated with the Mexican immigration, and all the prejudices preceded. Okay, so we go into the Great Depression, massive unemployment, right? It brought together public resentment of the Mexican immigrants, which instigated a flurry of one-sided marijuana research, which links its use to violence and social deviant behavior by racially inferior or underclass communities. So if we go back to the early 1900s, who were in these two groups? Immigrants, African Americans, right? Exactly. We fast forward to Reagan's election, and he did his Anti-Drug Abuse Act, which was a mandatory sentencing for any drug-related crime, and Bush's war on drugs. Okay, so all this is based off of certain things, correct? Where are we getting this information from, or why is it illegal? What is the hysteria about? Well, some people from my opposing views, they will say that it's a dangerous, addicting drug. It's a gateway to other drugs, and it has no proven documented medical use. All right, so let's start with the first one. It's a dangerously addicting drug. So what are we comparing it to? How about we compare it to alcohol, right? There are 88,000 alcohol-related deaths in a year in the US. Okay, let's go. Tobacco use should be better, right? 6 million people die a year for tobacco-related causes. So let's go into prescription drugs, and we're talking about your pain relievers and things like that. 44 people die every day, and many more become addicted to prescription drugs. Well, let's talk about a drug that's in the same schedule class, Schedule 1. Heroin. 8,260 deaths in 2003. Okay, so let's tackle the whole gateway drug thing. Studies show that the vast majority of marijuana users do not escalate into harder drugs. This is more tailored, or it is more dictated by the person's social and economical situation. Okay, loss of job, bankruptcy, personal failure or loss. These are indicators for the use of harder drugs, not marijuana. So I challenge you to find me one credible reference that shows even a third of the death or violence under influence of marijuana. I'll wait on it. All right. So we'll get into the no proven medical use. In 2010 in February, investigators at the University of California Center for Medical Cannabis Research publicly announced the findings of a series of randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trials on the medical utility of inhaled cannabis. All right. The studies, which utilize the so-called gold standard, meaning it's the testing and it's under proper care and supervision that the FDA considers it the gold standard of clinical trial design, concluded that marijuana should be a first-line treatment for patients with neuropathy or other serious illnesses. Okay? There are countless studies being conducted with the medicinal use of marijuana for treatment or illnesses or symptoms of illnesses to include cancer, AIDS, anorexia, fibromyalgia, just to name a few. You must understand that until recently, medical marijuana or marijuana for medicinal use didn't have enough research on it because it was banned. It was federally banned. There was no need for them to do any research on it because they already said that it has no medicinal purposes. Okay? We all know that's a little far-fetched, but things are opening up now. There's being more research being done. Now, I'm not saying that marijuana cures anything. All I'm saying is use it, study it, and see what the outcome is. Okay? As we speak, there is an organization which is called Veterans for Medicinal Cannabis Access, who are lobbying for medicinal marijuana to be legally prescribed for the treatment of PTSD. PTSD means post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm a veteran myself. I have PTSD. All right. In light of all the evidence currently available, it is striking that the FDA refuses to investigate cannabinoids for the treatment of anxiety disorders like PTSD, yet they have approved studies of MDMA, which is the club drug ecstasy, in the treatment for PTSD. I don't quite understand that. Oh well. So the question that I pose to you today isn't why we should legalize marijuana, but why not? I don't see what all the hoopla and everything is about. Study it. Grow, not grow the plant, but grow with the times, okay? There's plenty of research that's going on, and there's going to be plenty of research that continues through this project. All we have to do is be open-minded and make a decision not based off of folklore or based off what you knew in the past, based off evidence. Enlighten yourself, research, then make a decision. This is Mr. Moody closing out. AJ for all my classmates, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching my video.